Technology has come into our lives to stay. So much so that today, we could feel empty or lost without it. Sharing with others has never been so easy, from sending a funny picture to your friends to telling your parents that you are not going to dinner at home. However, it never hurts to reflect on past times, in which communications were different. Have you ever thought about what life was like when they could only be done by letter? Or over the phone? Or even by telegraph? For example, humans did not start using the letter system until 500 before Christ. Depending on the distance between the sender and the receiver, it could take days, weeks, or even months for the other person to receive the message. Imagine sending an emoji to your friend using this system. It wasn't until 1829, more than 2,000 years after, that the first instantaneous telematic system was invented, the telegraph. The only problem was that it couldn't actually send unencrypted messages. The users had to use a complex system to send and receive the information they wanted to share. Almost 50 years after the telegraph, in 1876, the first telephones began to see the light, and they laid the foundations of what we know today as telephony. They used long cables to communicate, and depended on external people to connect some lines to others. This technology has evolved since then to become what we now know as the most used and loved device by everyone today, the smartphone. The invention of radio and television was another great step in history. They brought home the first antennas and the first screens, creating so-called entertainment systems. At home it was necessary to have a point where the family could sit and enjoy time together. The lack of this kind of technology is that its way of communication is unilateral. The receiver does not have the opportunity of sending back a message to the sender. Each and every one of these inventions has brought us to this day, in which we can communicate with people thousands of miles away in a matter of less than a second, eliminating each of the shortcomings left by previous inventions. In conclusion, we don't need to be forced to use a telegraph nowadays to understand the convenience of the actual telecommunications, even more considering the current situation. But it never hurts to remember that there are other equally acceptable methods of sharing time and information with people. You can send letters to your distant friends from time to time, for example. The important thing is to make a conscious and, above all, responsible use.